Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, Erling Haaland treated us to an absolute ball on match day 6 of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Welcome to the desk. My name is Tunde Young, and I cannot wait to get into it. I have so much adrenaline pumping in my veins right now because the superstars are here. We waited for them to show up at the 2026 World Cup, and they have just come and told us that, you know what, everything you've been enjoying with Elijah Just, everything Folari Balogun showed you, everything Yasin Asari showed you, it was cute. It was cute, but we are the superstars for a reason, and that's exactly what happened. It was a day of favorites. All 4 games, there were no surprises. Went exactly how they were supposed to go, with every single player that you would have thought pre-match could score, scoring. Game 1, Kylian Mbappe, 2 goals against Senegal to make it 3-1 on behalf of France. Followed shortly by Erling Haaland on World Cup debut. 2 goals for Norway, beating Iraq 4-1. After that, the GOAT, Lionel Messi, 3 goals, hat-trick, his first World Cup hat-trick, and helping Argentina to a 3-0 win against Algeria. And even the very last game, Austria-Jordan, and there's 3-1 in favor of the Europeans, Austria. Marco Arnautovic coming off the bench to score. It was a complete day of incredible football action, and I can't wait to get into it. Of course, there's only one place to start. France's 3-1 win against Senegal. Senegal actually showed a very, very competitive side of themselves in the first half. They were the better team in the first half and probably should have gone into halftime leading if Ismail Assar had just taken his chance, or Nicolas Jackson had a bit more luck with his shot that came off the bar and went back off Mike Maignan leg out for a corner kick. They created chances in the first half. Senegal dominated France. France had 0 shots in the first half. It was abysmal, and it had a lot of people already talking, because this is a generation that doesn't know how to calm down, that doesn't understand delayed gratification. A lot of people were already talking out on France and talking out on Kylian Mbappe. And guess what? What does it do? It showed up in the second half. Of course, with the help of Michael Olise, who was the man of the match. The crucial adjustment that tipped this game in favor of Le Bleu was Deschamps moving Olise from the right to central position so he can be the creative heartbeat of the team. I wonder why he didn't do that in the first place. I wonder why he thought Ousmane Dembele would be a great number 10. Well, it wasn't. It was anonymous. It was anonymous for that entire sequence in the first half, and it was taken off promptly in the second half, which also led to France playing even much better. It was replaced by Bradley Barcola, who came off the bench to score France's second goal. Kylian Mbappe scored the first goal. Barcola scored France's second goal. Mbappe with a fantastic goal for Senegal coming off the bench to pull one back. Mike Maignan, absolutely disastrous goalkeeping in that regard. But Kylian Mbappe with his 14th World Cup goal, 14th World Cup goal in his 15th World Cup game. This is an all-time footballer. And I think that the world, and by the world I mean you social media youngins, have become too comfortable disrespecting this young man. At 27, he's already achieved a lot more than the hallowed great. He's already achieved a lot more than the players that we hold in very, very, very high regard and esteem. This is a Messi, Ronaldo caliber player. And as those two were undoubtedly the best of their generation, Kylian Mbappe, make no mistake, is the best of his generation. I don't want to hear anything about no Lamine Yamal or no Erling Haaland or no Harry Kane. Kylian Mbappe is the defining player of this generation. When you look back at this generation, the same way you are able to clearly say, no, Messi and Ronaldo were a cut above the rest, even though they had fantastic players as well. Messi and Ronaldo were a cut above the rest of that set. Kylian Mbappe is several cuts ahead of the rest. It doesn't mean that he will win every Ballon d'Or. Doesn't mean that he will not get outplayed in some seasons. Doesn't mean that he will be the best player year in, year out. It just simply means in the span of his generation, nobody will have a better resume. Nobody will put together better stats. Nobody will have clutch moments like him. Nobody will be able to rise to the occasion as frequently as him. Nobody will have a totality of a career that looks as good as him from this generation. And it is just facts. At 27 years old, I'm talking about the player that is already 2 goals away from being the all-time top scorer in the World Cup. At 27 years, at the start of his 3rd World Cup. We're talking about the player that is already in the top 5 or top 6 of Champions League top scorers of all time at 27 years old. We're talking about the player that has played 2 World Cup finals. One, lost the other one. Even the one he lost, he scored the only hat-trick in a World Cup final. It doesn't get better than this. If you think that there's a player somewhere, I see a lot of you talking about Deschamps needs to recreate what Luis Enrique does at PSG and play Dembele, Bakola, and Doué so that they can be fluid like they are at PSG. You are unserious and you know nothing about football. I put it to you. It's just a simple truth. There is no bigger advantage in today's world football than having Kylian Mbappe in your team. He continues to show it time and time again. And even though Lionel Messi would go on to surpass him on the same night, I'll say wait till the end of the World Cup. We will see who laughs last. And my money is on Kylian Mbappe, who was absolutely incredible. Like I said, we are witnessing an all-time talent. And I said something on social media, I'm going to say it again right here on the desk. It's Kylian Mbappe is the best French forward we have seen with our 2 eyes of the 21st century. And I limited to the 21st century because I didn't watch Just Fontaine. But if you can score 13 goals in one World Cup, I'm going to assume you were pretty incredible as well. And you could have done way more if football was as structured as it is today. So I'm going to not just do that comparison because we can't. But who do you want to call? Except for maybe Thierry Henry, who I still have in my head of Mbappe right now. But when it's all said and done, Kylian Mbappe will be above Thierry Henry, career for career, stats for stats, achievement for achievement. In fact, a lot of people believe he already is actually. Maybe I'm just the one that is clinging on to my own childhood memories. A lot of people believe he already is. Who do you want to call? Has France ever had a better forward than this? I do not think so. And I think we need to start respecting this guy as the all-time talent, the top of the range talent that he is. You've not seen a better forward than this in French colors. But you probably have seen a better forward than this in Argentine colors. And his name is Lionel Andres Messi, who not even 5 hours after Kylian Mbappe did what he did and got the whole football world in a rave and talking and calling him the heir to the throne, Lionel Messi says, I'm not ready to relinquish my crown just yet. I'm not ready to let it go quite yet. Helping Argentina to a 3-0 win against Algeria in a game where, quite frankly, Argentina did not deserve to win. They created nothing outside of Messi's 3 goals. Messi was the entire heartbeat of this team. Even with the 3 goals, the team as a whole only had 1.07 XG. And the incredible ability of this man to turn up in what I believe would be their toughest game in this group. So he will still have opportunities to start pad against Jordan in the final match day if he plays. He will still have opportunity to start pad against Austria, who in my opinion are not very good anyway. This might be yet another great campaign from Lionel Messi individually, even though I don't think it will be a great campaign from Argentina. Argentina simply do not have any top-end quality. Di Maria is no longer a part of the team. He was probably the only other mercurial player that they have. Their X-factor player. Right now, they look very ordinary outside of Lionel Messi. Lautaro Martinez, I don't understand. I do not understand what is going on. Julian Alvarez, in my opinion, not a decisive player. He can be a contributor, but not a player that you rely on to win you World Cup, win you a World Cup or win you a trophy. So I think that Argentina are going to underperform at this tournament. How far they will go will depend on variables like luck of the draw, who they get when they come out of the group stage, who they face in round of 32, who they face in round of 16. I think even with just relying on the power of Messi, they will beat most teams. But when you play against the absolute elites, if you play against France, just Messi will not be enough. If you play against Spain, as bad as they look against Cape Verde, just Messi will not be enough. If you play against England, just Messi will not be enough. So you need, if you play against Portugal, just Messi will not be enough. You need a lot more quality in that regard. But let's go back to Messi. Let's go back to Lionel Messi. The incredible amount of records that this man has been able to shatter. He is now the joint highest scorer in World Cup history. joining Miroslav Klose with 16 goals, surpassing Delima Ronaldo on 15, surpassing Kylian Mbappe on 14. He's also now the oldest hat-trick scorer in World Cup history. And guess who he took that record from? Just guess. You guessed it right. Cristiano Ronaldo himself, laying down the gauntlet to someone that has been his eternal rival. Can Cristiano Ronaldo respond? The pressure shifts to Cristiano Ronaldo. Lionel Messi is the greatest ever. I already called Kylian Mbappe the greatest of this generation. Lionel Messi is the greatest of his own generation and all generations, in my humble opinion. But I also don't think this should be an opinion. I think it's fact already that Messi is the greatest there ever was. It's the greatest we've seen so far. And from all evidence, it's the greatest we will see in our own lifetime. Maybe there's another incredible talent that's coming in the future. Lamine Yamal is not the guy that will dethrone Lionel Messi. There's no way that he becomes as that good. Kylian Mbappe, for all I've said about him, will not become as good as Lionel Messi. His ceiling is Cristiano Ronaldo max, and even that is a very, very difficult ceiling to reach. I don't want to diminish what Ronaldo achieved. Messi is the greatest player of all time. Kylian Mbappe, greatest player of this current generation. But if there's a player that has something to say about that, that's the Messi claim. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. It's Cristiano Ronaldo. If you ask Cristiano Ronaldo tomorrow morning, who is the greatest player of all time, he will most likely, and rightly so, say himself, because confidence is half of the job. Belief that you are the best is half of the job. Ability to carry it out is the other half. That these days, without being disrespectful, we can say Ronaldo is probably now lacking. And that's why we have doubts in our mind on what he can do against DR Congo tonight. Cristiano Ronaldo, in the immortal words of Michael Irvin, what are you prepared to do? Lionel Messi laid down the gauntlet, took your record as the oldest hat-trick scorer in World Cup history. He already won the World Cup last year. He has double your World Cup goals. What are you prepared to do about it? Don't let him come into your house and take your food. Laying down the gauntlet. Can Ronaldo do it against DR Congo what Messi did against Algeria? We'll find out in a bit. And it's not just Ronaldo. It's not just Ronaldo. Both Ronaldo and Harry Kane played today on day 7. Harry Kane against Croatia, Ronaldo against DR Congo. Both players are on 8 World Cup goals. Both players, especially with this extended format, will be looking to, at the very least, enter the top 10 of the World Cup scorers charts. Realistically, from Kane's perspective, maybe even double his tally at this tournament. Who's to say that's not possible? He's going to play against Panama and Ghana. Start padding galore. He's England's penalty taker. If you score 5 goals in the group stages, you are only 3 away from 16. 5 goals in the group stages for Harry Kane right now will take him to 13. Will take him to 13 goals in the World Cup, which is 2 behind Delima Ronaldo. It's very much possible. Cristiano Ronaldo too, same thing. He's been known to accumulate goals when it matters. And he faces Uzbekistan, DR Congo, and Colombia in group stages. These are very scoreable games. These 2 players can score 8 goals in 7 games if their teams go that far, or 8 goals in 8 games if their team reach as far as the final. They can do it. It's something that is possible. So we might see several more drastic changes to the World Cup scorers charts. I look forward to it. I really, the beauty of this sport is the absolute elite. As good as the first 5 days of the World Cup were, nothing tops this day 6, because we are talking about the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme, the greatest of the greats, the 1% of the 1%. As for Kylian Mbappe's claim to the best player of this generation, Erling Haaland might have something to say about that. Erling Haaland, who on World Cup debut scored 2 goals, maintaining his record of scoring on debut in every competition he's ever played in. And it's not just Champions League debut, scored 3 goals for RB Leipzig, a hat-trick on Champions League debut. Brace on World Cup debut. Premier League debut, scored. Bundesliga debut, scored. Everywhere he's debuted, he's found the back of the net. And Norway kicked off their World Cup campaign with a fantastic 4-1 win against Iraq on day 6. But there's a particular record that caught my eye. Last World Cup United States hosted, was in 1994. In 1994, 32 years ago. Alfie Haaland, Goran Soloth, and Erik Thonsved were part of that Norway squad. Norway were part of that World Cup, and those players were part of Norway squad in 1994 in the United States. Fast forward 32 years later, Erling Haaland, the son of Alfie Haaland, Alexander Soloth, the son of Goran Soloth, and Christian Thonsved, the son of Erik Thonsved, are part of Norway's squad for this World Cup. Incredible, incredible story writing. I don't think you could have made this up. The universe conjured this and cooked it appropriately. Back to Erling Haaland, though. Can he propel this Norway team first out of this group? Let's say baby steps. Baby steps with Senegal and France also on the prowl. Senegal have drawn the short stick here, especially with playing France first. But what will determine is how well can Senegal play against Norway? Can Senegal beat Norway? Can Senegal pick up a point against Norway and then beat Iraq more than Norway beats Iraq? That's on the assumption that Norway will lose to France. So there's a lot of variables in this group. It's looking like there will be a third place team that comes out of this group if Senegal can qualify as third place. I'm not worried just yet because there's still a lot of football to be played. But those are the angles. Those are the angles that we explore after what we saw in match day 6 of the World Cup. Pardon me if you were hoping that I will be able to talk in-depthly about Austria and what they did. There was not a lot to talk about. Yeah, Jordan were actually much better than I thought they would be. I have to give them credit. They held their own. They didn't look out of place. They didn't look like a team playing in their first World Cup. They didn't look like a team that is ranked in the far lower echelons of the FIFA club of the FIFA World rankings. They looked like they looked like they belonged exactly where they were. And I rate that a lot. Yeah, the result didn't go in that way. But if you are a team of Jordan's stature, you are not expected to come into this World Cup to beat Austria or to beat Argentina or to beat Algeria. So I would say they should not be too disappointed. It is what it is, but they still picked up. They improved their estimation in the eyes of football lovers. They showed that they are a serious team. They are not also runs. They are not just here to make up the numbers, even though they ultimately are. They most likely finish bottom of that group, but they are not going to be just pushovers, easy whipping boys like we've seen Curacao or Tunisia in their respective groups. And I rate that. I rate that very, very highly. I respect it a lot. I already mentioned Portugal and DR Congo. How will they start off in Group K? I'm predicting a Portugal win, but it's not going to be easy or flashy. DR Congo are a difficult team to break down. They play specifically to not lose football games. They play specifically with intention not to lose. Winning is not the priority. Just don't lose. That's DR Congo's mantra. And I think that Portugal will still beat them ultimately the same way they got by Nigeria in the pre-tournament friendly. But it's not going to be smooth sailing. Probably 3-0, 2-0, 3-0, because I don't see Congo scoring. Now, will Ronaldo score from those goals? Possibly. As much as I am of the belief that Ronaldo is past his best, clearly past his best. In fact, I'm going to use the words finish, and I don't use it lightly. But even in that game against Nigeria, you will see that he's still capable of great movements. He's still capable of creating chances for himself. It's the confidence to finish, I'm assuming, that is missing. Maybe we'll be able to regain that at the World Cup. And maybe the motivation of seeing what Kylian Mbappe did, seeing what Erling Haaland did, seeing what Lionel Messi did, in fact. I'm sure that will be playing in his mind. I'm sure, but I don't know if we should be eager to see a very desperate to score Ronaldo. Which I find out. We'll find out how that plays out for him against the Congo. England, Croatia, potentially a very difficult fixture as well. England have not been able to find their scoring boots under Thomas Tuchel. Is that something that carries on against Croatia? I think so. I think this is going to be a tie. I'm predicting England to win still, but I think it's going to be a very tight one. Maybe 1-0. I think 1-0. England could even be from a penalty. But I think that England are going to struggle to break down this Croatian team. 9 p.m. Nigerian time. Portugal, DR Congo is 6 p.m. Nigerian time. Both at very, very good times. Then we'll see the last of the Africans take action against Panama. Ghana by midnight. African time, Nigerian time by midnight. Ghana will take on Panama. I think Ghana should win that. If you are at least if you have aspirations that's coming out of this group, you should pick up all 3 points against Panama. Even though according to FIFA rankings, Ghana are worse than Panama. But football is not played by FIFA rankings, as we've seen at this tournament so far. Lots of teams that are ranked lowly are punching well above their weight. Ghana have more quality than Panama. I would be very, very surprised. Even without Thomas Partey, who has been barred from entering Canada. The game is happening in Canada. Thomas Partey's Canadian visa application was denied because he has legal issues ongoing. Partey aside, even, they should still beat Panama. Uzbekistan Colombia is the last game of Game 7. In fact, the last game of the first round of World Cup action. Uzbek Colombia by 3 a.m. Nigerian time. So I'll be back with the wrap up for Game 7, for Day 7. But we'll be able, at the end of the day, we will see if Cristiano Ronaldo is able to respond to the challenge put to him by Lionel Messi, challenge put to him by Erling Haaland, challenge put to him by Kylian Mbappe. Can he stand up to it? Can England start their World Cup campaign on the right foot? Is it coming home? Can they get on the front foot against Croatia? We'll find out in a few hours. But for now, I've been Tunde Young, and this has been Sports Dex. Thank you very much for rocking with me. Thank you. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You guys have been amazing. I've been keeping this consistent. As I promised, this is Day 6, and we'll be back with Day 7 review. Thank you so much.